Talk. My name is Renee from Mother Daughter Initiative. And I want to welcome everyone to our first episode of Real Talk. And MDI is a village of women and mothers who care about our next generation. Real conversation about forgiveness. And I already have my list of people I need to forgive. So I'm going to kick it to my friends here, my bestie, my right-hand lady, and my business partner, Bridget. And she's going to kind of moderate this conversation about forgiveness. But before we do that, let's just do a brief little introduction. So, of course, I already introduced myself as Renee, and
I'm Bridget.
Ayana.
Okay, so again, we're going to talk about forgiveness. So, Bridget, you want to kick it off?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Just want to start by saying that forgiveness is typically a very touchy subject for us. A lot of families struggle with it, forgiveness, not forgiving, what have you. So we decided as a team that it would be a good place for us to start, especially since one of our partners here has written and published a book regarding forgiveness, because that's how important she feels that it is. So I'm just going to start with some questions, and we're just going to bounce off of each other here to make it a little thought-provoking. I think for me, being able to forgive is something that you either have not mastered or you have mastered. So the first question speaks to, as a mom, as a mother, especially with the climate of our country right now, with the children who are being murdered or being killed, as a mom, do you believe that you would be able to forgive someone who killed or murdered your child? That's a question I'd like you all to ponder. You know, especially being someone who has written a book about forgiveness. What do you think, Ayana? And you are a mom, so do you think you'd be able to forgive someone?
I think anything's possible. I think that we can forgive. I think that we should forgive. But you never know how you react to a situation until you're in that situation, to be quite honest with you. I think, I understand the power of forgiveness and the benefits of it, but whether or not I'd be able to forgive someone who hurt my child, I think I could, but I mean, it may take some time, or, like the young man recently in the news,
right, yes.
It could be automatic. I don't know.
You have to be in the situation. What do you think, Renee?
I tell you, I was following the trial with both of them, and I cried when I was listening to the father's testimony, because I just can't imagine losing a child. And actually, I hadn't shared with my family, my Facebook family. I almost lost my daughter this year. She could have been murdered this year, early in the beginning of 2019, and just the thought of if she was killed, I don't think I could forgive anyone. I mean, I need to, but I don't think I could forgive someone for killing my child. I think over time, of course, the Bible says we should forgive, but that's just one thing. Like I said, I have my list right here of people that I need to forgive. And it's hard. It's just really hard, especially with Botham's death, and then we have Tatiana's death. I mean, these moms, we just,
Do you think what makes it difficult is that they're being murdered? That the situations that they're in, like her being in the privacy of her home and the cop coming to the window and taking her life without identifying. So do you think that changes whether or not you would forgive somebody? Does that is it even relevant?
I don't think it's relevant.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter.
Because he killed her, the cop killed both of them.
And they're gone.
As a mom, you gave birth to your child, and you just never want to have to bury your child.
Right. I understand that piece. Because for me, the intent does matter. I don't know if that sounds too far-fetched or unbelievable, but I'm going to forgive them, period. But the intention is probably going to cause me to behave in one way or another until I get to that place, I think, for me. An intentional killing, where it's done with hate, I'm going to have to take time to deal with that. An accidental death or something like that, I think I would be more apt to forgive quickly.
Well, I hope I'm not jumping ahead, but I think what most people miss is that the forgiveness is for you.
For the individual ourselves.
It's
yep.
So even if someone did something, very heinous to your child, you holding on to whatever anger, hatred, or whatever it is that you decide to hold on to, whatever negative emotion, is going to affect you. It's not going to affect the other person.
So they can actually move on. So then the next question is there someone that you have not forgiven, Renee? And why have you not forgiven? Because we got to list here. We got to list here.
I don't have enough time, but yeah.
There's always that one person at the top of the list. And,
Wow.
and we're being very frank and transparent here. I learned something about you today, in this conversation. So who is that person that you have not forgiven? And why have you not forgiven?
Oh, wow. I can't.
You don't have to say the name. You don't matter. You don't have to say it. Just talk about this broadcast. Well, no, don't say any names, but we want you to share the situation because this is getting to the heart of, whether we grow or not, right? Whether a root of bitterness takes place inside of us. So,
well, I think we're going to have to do a part 2.
Okay.
Disclosing that situation might identify, they may know who they are and they're watching me. So, but yeah, forgiveness is a daily struggle because, being a mom, trying to forgive your child when they just do things to irritate you, annoy you, disrespect you. So, and your children, family members. So I'm sure there's somebody online or live that may have a family member that has betrayed them or has done something that may not warrant forgiveness. But I know we should. But
well, so then let's define what forgiveness is. What is forgiveness? What do you put forgiveness out there to be?
It's the willingness. It's really about whether or not you're willing. You will or you won't. It's about the willingness to release negative energy in order to receive unconditional love.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Willingness.
Yeah. That's what I
you're
battling with. Yes.
I should be willing to forgive. I know.
And doesn't that fall into self-care? For me in my mind,
absolutely.
Because I'm, wanting my loved one here to understand the importance of, what makes me happy, being peaceful. So what makes you happy? Just one. If you had to describe it in one word, because
my word for what makes me happy is just peace. I like peace, no drama. That's it. That's more than one word. Okay,
peace. But the no drama, they're parallel, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're connected to your willingness to release? Forgiveness. Okay. All right. So I feel a period on you. So I'm gonna. So then without even having to go there, almost organically, why is it important to forgive? You started.
I started. I was talking about how it's for you.
Yeah.
The forgiveness piece is for you. When you harbor these negative emotions, you cause yourself. They start to manifest themselves physically.
Mm-hmm.
People have tumors, cancers, and all types of ailments because what's happening spiritually and internally manifests themselves physically. So it's really for you. And then if you are trying to get to your next level, it can impede your progress when you're not willing to let things go. Like I said, in order to allow unconditional love and living life, peace, all of those things, you're able to allow them and free up that space.
So that unconditional love, is that unconditional love that you will then be able to give, or you will then be able to receive, or both? What is that unconditional love?
I think both.
Okay. Okay. And I remember when I was leaving Detroit as a 22-year-old, I had been violated by a family member, and my heart was telling me, release him. Release yourself. And I didn't understand the second part. I didn't understand the release yourself because I was 22, right? So I went to him at a family function and I said, hey, listen, I forgive you. I want you to move on with your life. You need to get there. You need to get help. I said, you really need Jesus, but you need to get some help. And his mouth was wide open. Once I got here, I knew what the release me was for because I didn't feel anger towards him anymore. So that was my first example at 22 on learning how to forgive. And you are absolutely correct. It was for me. That even though he was okay now, it was for me. So for me, why it's important to forgive, I agree with you 1,000%. it's for us first. Renee, did you want to add to that?
Oh no, I'm proud of you.
So then let's jump on to the final question then.
Okay.
So, why do we even have to forgive? Let's say that you can live with not forgiving. Let's say that you're a person who you've learned how to live not forgiving. Why do we even need to do it? Why is it relevant? We have children, we have people watching us, we're role models, so why do we even need to forgive?
So this is the thing. You can say, you can live without it, but are you truly living without it? That's my thing.
I love it. Are you at your
Are you
potential?
truly living without, like, the capital L? Are you living without it? Everything that I do in my life now, like, I've lived such a serious life from, my childhood up until a certain point. And now everything that I do, I try to make it about life, living, growth, expansion, peace, and love. And if I'm not doing those things, am I truly living?
Oh my God, I feel that. I feel that. Because aren't you tagged with something spiritually when you know there's somebody that you have not forgiven? I am. I think about it, and even before I take communion, when I go down, because the word says that we're not supposed to take communion until we have forgiven all of our faults. I can't even get down there until I go, hey sis, look, I know I was speaking a little harsh to you yesterday, and not if I offended you, but because I offended you, I need your apology. Would you forgive me, please? Is that the hurdle for some of us? Yes, because we have to admit that we were wrong. And in a lot of cases, I wasn't wrong, and I apologize anyway, because I don't want the mess going on, so I'll apologize.
Well, really, is there a wrong or right?
No, and I agree, because if forgiveness is for us, it shouldn't matter. And you know what you're also doing? You're teaching that person, because they may not know if it was them that did it. Us apologizing anyway, even whether we did it or not, we're teaching them how to forgive. And that might be what we need to do, because they might not know what it's like. So I agree with you. So I agree with you from earlier. I think we need a part 2. Because I want to pull back on you. I didn't realize a whole lot. And we're really close.
Yeah.
And I heard some things that we need to put some salve on and stuff.
Yeah. And I feel something coming from you.
Yes, thank you very much. It's not just
I don't want to get into all
right,
that.
because we got the part 1.
I already have people in my life like, are you crazy? I'm not crazy. I'm an empath.
Yes,
Feel that energy coming from you.
Yeah. And
I hope it's a good energy.
It is, but
it's stuck.
It's blocked.
Stuck.
No
Blocked. Oh my God.
Look.
I'm hot. Oh my God.
And you.
Wait a minute. Let me
because you're our
let me
leader.
just speak up. So wait a minute. Okay. So I feel like this. I have forgiven some people, and they know who they are, but I didn't forget what they did.
Well, so is that truly forgiveness?
And then I just keep my distance. I think God's okay with that.
Part 2. We gotta have part 2.
I think He's okay with that.
So she said she forgave them, but she didn't forget.
Come on,
You
bring it
may
down.
you may not be able to forget, but you can change your perspective.
Yes.
Right.
You can change your perspective, which will change your emotion attached to whatever that experience was, which brings you more back into love.
Oh yeah.
Which
I
will
love
help
it from
you.
a distance.
Which will help you.
I just
I feel that energy. I love from a distance.
Part two.
So we're gonna have you say, help me out in forgiveness. Okay, that's real. But I mean, I do believe in forgiveness. But there are certain things.
Yeah.
It's hard to forgive.
It's hard,
Right.
but it's not impossible.
So I know it's not impossible.
Okay.
So that's why I have you guys on the show. Y'all helping me
That's
out.
well, true.
I mean, I would always come to the question, well, what's so difficult about it? What do you get from it?
Right.
What do you get from not forgiving?
Right.
Yeah. I just think this is a normal feeling. So back to that question about even with someone. So even like I said, even with us, if someone killed your child, now that situation,
it's something to contemplate.
Yeah, I know. I would have to forgive the person because that's what the Bible says, but I won't forget it, and I know that I will probably walk around with feelings about that person. That's just being real.
Yeah, and that's okay. And for now, we're gonna fall. So how I want us to go out is I want Ayana to give us talk to us a little bit about forgiveness. If there are some points that we could take away from this, if you can give us some words that we could remember about forgiveness that could help us what would you say to them?
Well, first, we got the title of your book.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, title of your
I'm already talking.
Right. The title of your book and how we can go.
I didn't think, because I just need to read it again. I think that's my problem. I just need to read your book.
But you know what, like you said, it's an everyday process. Some
Yeah.
people, you know, there are different levels. We're all in a different place, but we're all on a journey. And some people can't forget McDonald's because the ice cream machine isn't working today.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Like, but some people can't do that.
Yeah.
But you know, then other people make, you know, maybe something more major that triggers something within them that, you know, is difficult to forgive. But wherever you are, you know, it's possible as long as you're willing. So I've written a book. It's entitled "The Empty Chair: Sitting with Forgiveness." That's sitting, SITTING, with forgiveness. It's on Amazon.
okay.
And it talks about some experiences in my life that I've had to forgive. And it also offers readers 6 strategies to forgiveness. Because I didn't want to just tell my story. I wanted to actually help people. That was my purpose for writing the book.
Very good. Can you share with us those 6 strategies so we can check a little bit?
Absolutely.
So, let me write it down.
You can take my pen?
Yeah, I did. So let me get the strategy.
Okay, step number 1.
Okay, go ahead.
The first one is to recognize. So just like with anything, just recognizing that there's an issue. One of the things that helped me, like in the book, I talk about an experience I had with my stepmother. And I taught, you know, so I kind of use that example throughout the book to help work through the strategies. So the first thing was to recognize. And I recognized that when I would get around her, I had these feelings, and we were in an okay place, you know, and these were things that stem from childhood. And I had to recognize, so that's what helped me to recognize my emotion that was attached to it. And I questioned, okay, why do I have these ill feelings, although we're in a good place? So I could recognize that there was an issue, and you know, and I knew that I wanted to resolve it within myself. So that was the first thing. And then after that, relieve. So the empty chair, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a therapeutic technique. And it's a way to kind of project your feelings and express your feelings onto an empty chair, basically. And either you can sit in the chair and become the experience of the person that has harmed you or that's in question, or you can speak to the chair. So in my book, I'm speaking to chairs, and I use the chairs in a personification approach. But so then relieve. So I did in the book, I just relieved. So when the first thing, I just kind of relieved whatever emotions I had attached to that experience.
So step 2, relieve.
That's step 2,
Relieve.
relieve. So relieve yourself. Whatever you want to get out, get it out. You know, some people keep things pent up, and there's no easy way to do it. There's no right way to do it.
Everybody has their own style.
You have your own style. If you want to curse. You know, it's Sunday. I know. Some people don't believe that they call it a curse. I don't necessarily consider it a curse. But yeah, you relieve. And then the next step is repent. Because you've caused harm to yourself. And you've wished harm on others. So just turning away from those things that are harming you and the harm that you projected onto other people.
That's so deep to me. I have to repent because I've hurt not only others but myself. Okay.
Wow. And then release. So all of those.
Yes.
And so I believe that, you know, we can all revive ourselves to that place, connect again with the universe, with God, or, you know, whatever the higher power is for you.
Yeah.
And you can revive back to that place of health. Yeah.
So listen, I've been around this woman for a little while, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't have her book, but if you want to, please go into Amazon.
And we'll put the link in the comment section if
Yes.
you're on live. If you are watching, we also have this session recorded. So, you know, if you're watching, it's on Amazon.com. Again, the title is The Empty Chair, subtitle Sitting with Forgiveness. And if you want to reach me, it's Consult Ayana, CONSULTAYANNA.com.
All righty. So you're going to take us out, Madam President?
Well, now that I have a lot of work to do, like 6
We all
steps,
do. We all do.
recognize,
We all do.
release, relieve, repent, release, replace, and to revive. Okay, right. So I just want to thank everyone for, you know, coming on live with us today. This is our first Real Talk conversation.
Thank
And
you for having
hopefully
me.
you're
Yes.
following us on Instagram at Mother Daughter Initiative. I'm also on Twitter, momdaughter_MDI. And also go to my website, www.motherdaughter.initiative.com.